Hey y'all. Oh, hey Heather, how you doing? Hello. Good evening, all. It is Friday night. Y'all know I'm about to say it. Y'all know I'm about to say it. But it ain't 7 p.m. It's 8:40 Friday. It's about 105 degrees. I ain't got no ain't got me. I'm about to show my oh. I had to say it. Anyway, I hope everybody's having a great Friday. I did not come on Wednesday. I haven't been feeling too good, y'all. All jokes aside. I haven't been at my fluffiest, so and I really didn't have anything to talk about for real. And I'm not because I like I told you, I don't really like getting on here not being having something to talk about. Because I feel like I'm gonna get on here and waste y'all time. That I should waste y'all time with some good stuff. I should be passionate about what I'm talking about, just not talking. However, your girl is about to go through a major life change at 57. Yeah. So story time. I'm gonna tell you about my feelings towards my son going away to the army. Now, I know that millions of mamas and daddies, but I'm a mama, so I can only speak from my perspective, have sent their children off to not just military, but the war. And it's not really a traumatized, and I'm not traumatized, you know what I'm saying? It's just that for 20 years, because now I'm including being pregnant with him, that's my baby. 20 years, I could touch him, reach out and touch him. With the exception of like a month or two here, like when I first went to Texas, I didn't take him with me immediately because I wanted to get stuff set up and I didn't want to drag him from place to place to place. When if I'm moving somewhere, I don't take him with me immediately. I would suggest that any parent not do that if you have the capability. Because when you're getting set up in a new town and you're trying to do that with a child that is getting ready to leave where they live, to leave their friends, leave their family to go to something new, and you're dragging them around to all the little things that you have to do to get situated and set up in a new town, I would suggest if you can leave your baby with their grandmama or their auntie to do that. So, with the exception of, like I said, moving and not having him with me when I was setting us up, that's my baby. I could go get him. If he spent the night over at cousin's house, I was down the street. If he went to go hang out with his auntie and them, I'm down the street. But I'm not about to be down the street no more. So story time. 20 years ago, I got the biggest surprise in the form of a bright red mark on a pregnancy test. Now understand I'm 37 years old, and since I was 18, I was told that it would be impossible, if almost impossible for me to get pregnant naturally. Now that's not saying I didn't have eggs. That's not saying that I didn't have a body that could carry a baby. Just the actual getting pregnant, the it would be almost impossible. So, and I was cool with that because I'm 18. Tell me something at 18. Tell me I ain't have no babies. Yay. 20s, yay. And when it hadn't happened by the time I was 30, I realized that they made it know what they was talking about. So I had made up in my mind that I was okay with not being somebody's mother. Even though my friends didn't have, now I understand my friends didn't have babies in their teens or anything. They was in their late 20s to almost 30. So it wasn't like it was everybody that's having babies around me. But because of the physicality of it, and because there was not, because I didn't have the money to change that, I had made up in my mind that I wasn't gonna be able to have any kids. And that's all right at the time. I wasn't in a relationship. I wasn't looking forward to marrying anybody. I wasn't marriage wasn't even in my thought process. So I was cool with that. So when I started feeling strange and crazy around right after my birthday, my 37th birthday, I just thought it was I thought I was just, my family had high blood pressure. I thought I was starting to manifest that, all that. So I didn't think too much about it. It was just aggravating more so than anything else. I didn't. But as the symptoms got a little, more aggressive, I was like, wait, something's wrong. So on May 27th, I want to say that's the day. It's either May 27th, 26th. I kind of blocked that day out. But I went down to the the birth control, not birth control, I forget where it was, but you get free birth test. You get free pregnancy tests. Because this was back when pregnancy test was expensive. Now this 20 years ago. You get one for $20. I'm like, look here, I'd be mad if I spent that $20. And so I went to the free place. So they asked you all the questions about what you want to do and everything. And I was like, I don't know. Why do you think you're pregnant? No, I give her the answers. And no sooner did she ask that question, which to me, I would have been my first question, but hey, that was her last. And right as she asked the question, before I could answer the question, the thing dinged. And she jumped up. She went and got the test, which was across the room. And she said, oh, this is why you feel that way. And I could see from across the room, if anybody has seen pregnancy tests or seen them done in the hospital, it's a little square one, it's a little square box. It's a little bit bigger than a key on a keyboard. I could see from across the room that red line. It looked like somebody took a magic marker, scraped it out to make sure that I understood that this meant positive. I was like, what? She said, well, you're pregnant. I said, I was stuttering. Y'all know I don't stutter. I mean, back then I really didn't stutter. Now sometimes I stutter a little bit because I have to catch my words on YouTube. But for y'all, sometimes if I have to stutter, it's because I'm about to cuss. Well, I cussed at that lady. That lady said, you want some water? Would you like me to go get somebody? I said, I don't give a fuck what you bring in here. That's what I said. I said, I don't care. Right at this moment. So she just kind of looked for clutched her pearls and walked out. We got my roommate. She came in looking at me laughing, and I wanted to fight, but I just left out. She gave me the letter saying that, the test was positive. Contact your OBGYN. So I went down that day. My sister, the kids were having Father's Day at the park that day. And everybody knew where I was going because we were all going to meet them. Because the mothers and the aunties and were the ones throwing the picnic for the Father's Day at park. So I was helping out. And we weren't going to be there in time. So everybody knew where I was at. My sister, my niece, my cousin, everybody knew where I was at. So when we get out the car and walk over to the thing, and they over there looking at me like, well, what it say? What we doing? I'm sitting over there looking miserable. I am 37 years old. I'm considered a geriatric pregnancy at 37. High risk. I'm considered more risk for chromosomal abnormalities, everything. And they tell you all these things. And my too smart for my own good brain reads up on all this stuff. And so I go in and my sister like, well, I hate you. Well, I said, shut up. So we just sat there and they like, oh, it wasn't like, I guess because everybody had kids by then. I was the last one to have I was the last one. They was looking at me like, oh, well, that was 20 years ago. And 9 months after that, 2 days before New Year's, he was supposed to be a New Year's baby. But because I was not going to be able to have him naturally, because with all that ass, you think I'd have more width in my hips, but I don't have enough in my pelvic area. Clearly, my insides was not ready for this baby. My outsides was, but the insides wasn't. So he said, well, I'm going to schedule this C-section on this day, and I'm not going to be in here on New Year's Day. Because a lot of stuff happens on New Year's Eve. A lot of emergencies, a lot of things happen on New Year's Eve. So 9 months later, I had Nick. And there he was. That was my baby. From that point, because the whole time I was pregnant, I really wasn't thinking about the baby Nick. I had in my head, I had him all the way in college and married with kids and stuff, and the things that I wanted for him. And in my head, when I was pregnant, it was crazy. I didn't. As pregnancies go, y'all, real talk. I didn't have a bad one. I had every pregnancy symptom, all the stuff that they say that before you find out you're pregnant, nausea. One of my teeth just disintegrated one night. I woke up a mouthful of tooth crumbs. I could feel the spit forming in my mouth as I sit and watch TV. I hated Mountain Dew. Y'all know how your girl love Mountain Dew. Well, not anymore, but I used Mountain Dew was like my drink. It's like, some people drink Henny, Mountain Dew. Hated Mountain Dew. I hated everything that smelled sweet. I didn't even like the way bacon smelled. Bread it was off. I had every pregnancy wives' tale symptom you could have. But as far as body wise, I didn't even start showing until I was 7, almost 8 months pregnant. That's when I started getting my blood pressure went up with Nick. That's about it. And it wasn't super high, but they gave me something to make sure it didn't get too high, because a lot of times, especially with Black women, especially that even though I had lost a lot of weight, from what I understand, the fact that I had lost a lot of weight is one of the factors in why I got pregnant. Go figure. Staying fat is better than any birth control I see. So I only gained with Nick, I only gained 17 pounds from beginning to end. From my first weight till the last weight I had before I had him. And 8 pounds, 8 ounces of that was Nick out of 17. So I gained like what, 8 or 9 pounds that wasn't baby. It was crazy. But December 29th, yeah, that's my baby. He was here. And it was so crazy just watching him do stuff. 5 years after that, he didn't go to daycare. My mom and my sister watched him while I worked. I went back. I stayed with him for the first 6 months. And in 6 months, I started working. And I was working a job that had me there sometimes 10, 12 hours a day. But you had to do what you got to do. And so he never went to daycare. So when he turned 5, the year he turned 5, he went to kindergarten. And the only person cried that day was me. He was like, he got his little bag and he had everything he needed for kindergarten, and he walked in his little school. And because when you first go to school, kids don't wear uniforms. He was wearing uniforms, but the first week they wear their little clothes. So I had his little outfit. All right, I'm about to speak to everybody. Hold on. I said, hey Heather and Magdalene and hey Rico, cool gamer, Blackbird, how you doing? Thank you so much for the wishes for Nick. All right, got everybody. Uh, I didn't cry. Nick is fearless. He went to school. Um, when I came out, Nick was, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old, and I talked to him. I said, would you be okay if mommy dated a girl? And he said, it'll be a little weird, but I'll be all right. And that was it. That was the extent of it. That was the extent of he understood what I meant, and that was the extent of it. He has been my greatest achievement. And not to say I'm not one of them moms that say, "No, my son would never do that." Depending upon what it is, he might do it. We cannot, as parents, we can say what we're going to do. We can say how we're going to raise them. We can have all the hopes and dreams and thoughts and prayers and wishes and things that we can muster. But the reality is, our children are going to be our children because there are billions of things that we have no control over. His environment, the people he meets along the way, the teachers, his other family members. We cannot control the environment around him. We can raise our kids. We can tell them all the things we think they need to know. We can teach them what the school can't. But as far as the environment, we don't know what impact they will have on our child. The only on our children, and the only thing that we can do is hopefully give them the tools and give them what they need to be able to navigate the world. That was my ideal. It was not that he was going to be a perfect kid. It was not, because there's so much, because perfection is boring. It's the little quirks and the funny ways that a person acts and that makes them unique and exciting and different. It's the it's the fact that my son loved to go to school. When he was young, loved to go to school, loved school. He was always on the A B honor roll. He had no problem going to school. There was never a time from like from the time he started kindergarten to, I want to say, middle school, when we moved here from and he stayed in he was middle school is sixth, seventh, eighth. What is middle school? Sixth, seventh, eighth grade. So he was here because he went to grade school here as well. So he's been in the same school system for the past, I want to say, 10 years. For the past 10 years, he's been in the same school system. And when he first got here, I was just looking at his report cards today. AB honor roll, letters from the superintendent of schools. Then got a letter from Lieutenant Governor one time. He had no problem with school. But he is his mother's child in some way. He hated when he got bigger. He got up there in high school. He hated going to school. It wasn't like he wasn't going, but I don't know. His personality came out. So if a teacher was to call me and tell me, "Hey, Nick skipped class," I'm like, "Yeah, he probably did." Nick got caught with other boys in the corner smoking. He probably would. But these are things that he's gonna do and face the consequences for him. All I wanted for him, he has one rule, and this is the rule, and this is the rule that will apply to him until he dies, and hopefully he will apply this rule to his kids. He has one steadfast rule that he cannot break, and that rule is come home. Nick ain't really never had no curfew because he ain't never really asked to go nowhere. We never really, be home by, it's a school week. He didn't really ask to go out on the school week too often, but be home by 9 or 10. Don't be in nobody's house late. That's just courtesy. It's not him having a curfew. It's just courtesy. Don't be in nobody's house late. On the weekend, no ass to spend not in nobody's house, and these folks don't know you spending the night there. Cause you know how children will be like, "I'm gonna go spend the night with so and so." Do their mama know you spending the night? And 90% of the time, he never had to get punished for anything. Now, did he have to get punished? Yes, yes. Phone taken away. He didn't really go nowhere, so we couldn't even threaten him with that. Most we could do was take the phone and the games away. But that was few and far between. And I just watched him grow. I watched him become the person that he is, become the man that he is. And now 15 years later, after the only person that cried when he went to kindergarten, now I give him to the government. Next week he's already enlisted in the army. He will be leaving next week. And that's it. I won't see my baby. He won't, well, he's always gonna be my baby. But he's going to boot camp for 10 weeks. And then he's going to school for however long that takes. And then he's gonna be in the military. And he's gonna be off doing stuff. And it's sad and it's crazy as it's gonna be that my kid ain't upstairs and that I can't harass him on a regular basis like I do now. I am so proud of this young man that it took me 37 years to get. I'm so proud of this young man that I didn't have any prior thoughts and dreams of what he would look like or who he would be. But I can't be more prouder of who he is. I wish that I could be there with him, stow away. Blackbird, they have to find their own way that we provide stability, nurturing, and the love. And yeah, that's true. Thank you, Rico. I can't. I look at him sometimes and I try to see who he look like. And everybody say he look like me, but if y'all really look like Nick, he don't. You know he mad. You know he mad. But he's excuse me, y'all. But he's his own man, and I'm so proud of that. It's as much as I want him to never leave me. I know that's stupid because I want. As my mom taught me how to take care of myself, but did she want me to leave her house? No. Every time I said I was gonna move here, I was went to go to school. She was like, "You know they do a lot of killing." I'm like, "Well, Mama, let me. I don't think I'm gonna do nothing to get killed, but okay." She wanted me not to go anywhere, but she taught me how to take care of myself if when I get out there. I'm crazy because I don't want to ever not have him where I can see his face every day, but I want him to go out and do stuff. I want him to travel the world. I want him to knock his bucket list off and then make another bucket list and then knock that one off. I want him to see all the sights he wants to see, make all the adventures he wants to. I mean, have all the adventures he wants to have. I want him to fall in love, fall out of love, be a little hoish. Not, you know what I'm saying? I want him to do all that. But then, I don't want him to do it, in another address. But I know he got to, he's been packing, today and the other day. He's been packing. We told him to pack his room up, for if and when we move, his stuff will be packed up and we could just put it in storage or put it back in the corner. Cause everywhere I am, he gonna have somewhere to stay. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. Wherever we are, he got a home. So that includes his stuff until he gets his own house. And then he can come get his stuff out of my house. But then he'll still have a place to stay. I It's crazy. We're gonna, take him to his restaurants he wants to eat at and then take him to the place where he's going to catch, the bus to wherever he's going. I don't know how they're going. I don't know if they're flying or if they're riding a bus. I don't know. But we have to take him to MEPS, which I don't know what that is. I know what that stands for, but it's something like it's not the recruiting office. It's somewhere in Maryland. And the crazy part is I don't want to take him. I don't. want to be there, but I can't not because I told him it didn't matter what he did. I'm gonna cheer him on. I'm a cheerleader, his cheerleader, because I ain't never want to be no real cheerleader. But for the rest of his life, when he took a step, it was like he won a Nobel Prize. When he said his first sentence, it was like he won an Oscar. When he played his first soccer game, it's like it's Super Bowl. I will always be his cheerleader. I will always rah rah sis kumbah my baby. But I don't want to see him get out the car and go wherever he's going, but I know I got to because it's my job. It's mom. It's my job to be uncomfortable, to be sad, to be happy. Because when you have a kid, it's like your heart is walking around outside your body. Your heart and your soul, my heart and my soul walks around outside my body. And yeah, that's gonna be happening Sunday. Let me look at the chat, y'all. I'm not looking at it right at this moment. Thank you. Hey, Miss T. Velocity. Thank you. All right, cook on there, Rico. He his MOS is electrician. It's gonna be having to deal with electronics, mechanical engineering. He's going from Missouri to Georgia. He's going to school in Georgia. Now I don't know which base in Georgia it is. Get me the line. Don't get me the line. But well, I've never been to Missouri, so yeah, I already been in one state I ain't been to. But I I can say I'm proud, you know what I mean? But I can't express it because just saying the word just it's not enough. Even when he makes mistakes, even when he do wrong, because I understand that mistakes and doing things you ain't got no business doing, especially when you're young, are ways of learning things, learning lessons, sometimes lessons that you need to push you on to the next level, to the next adventure in your life. I want his life to be filled with adventures. He's gonna need not as many negative, but he's gonna need some negative ones to get him to understand the importance of the positive ones. Life is not a straight line. Life is a series of bumps and hills and mountains and craters and seas and oceans and ponds and streams. It's people you thought were your friends and people that you never thought would be friends with or the best friends you ever have. It is having this idea of what girl you want in your head, and then the entire opposite girl takes your breath away. It is I want to be this, but then when you get in there, you realize that you love doing that. It is going to everywhere that you can go. If you can cap, it is not necessarily killing yourself at a 40-hour a week 9 to 5 job because that's what society says and you have nothing left for your life. I want him to go to, if he wants to sightsee, I want him to sightsee. If he want to climb a mountain, climb the mountain. If you want to learn how to scuba dive, go play with the fish. I want him to do everything he wants to do. And if you want to work and sit on your ass, do that too. I want him to have every opportunity in the world to do everything that he wants to do. And I want him to be able to do it or not do it. And I know that this I know that going in the military, while even though it's a scary proposition, I do know that it is also a very good stepping stone into your life. I know there's a good career path. I know there's a good way to get an education. So I got to be all right with it. I got to be okay. And I just got to be his mama and be happy and be happy with the man that I met raised. Let me check and see what somebody said something. Yeah. Hold on, hold on. I know. Hey, Ginger. Might be for a minute. Yeah. Somebody said for going. Yeah, it's gonna be bittersweet. You're right. I know how I feel when my son left for college. I cried, was so emotional. To this day, I feel so empty. And then my other son is saying he's going in the military when he's done with school. Yeah, it is. I don't. I don't know. He's not gone yet, so I don't feel empty yet. So I'll let y'all know once he's gone. Once he's gone, I'll probably do another live. You know, I might do a live on the way home after we drop him off. I probably will. It's change, and everybody. I've never met anybody who's good with change. I've never met anybody who the fear of the unknown is always worse than the fear of the known. It's not the sharks that you're scared of is in the ocean. It's the fact that you don't know whether you're gonna get bit by one. It's not the shark. That's their house. That's where they live at. That's where they at. The shark is not the problem with the fear. The fear is the unknown. Am I gonna pull up on one? Is it gonna be a stingray? You know they got Steve Irwin. You know jellyfish can fuck you up too. It's the unknown. In the woods, it ain't the animals. It ain't the wolves, the bears, the lions, the tigers. Oh my! It's the will I walk up on one. The only time you scared of a snake is when you see it, and you probably didn't walk past thousands of them. So I think it's more that I won't know or have any control about what he becomes in contact with. But I have to hope that I have given him the tools to deal with whatever is coming next. And I think I have because he's very independent. Now, do he know everything? Hell no. He's a young man. And young men go out the house every day. But I asked him last night, I decided to ask him, I said, because I want to see what he knows as far as stuff that he should be able to know to take care of stuff. I said, you know how to change a tire? He said, actually, I do, Mom. I know how to change a tire. I said, okay. And he know about banking stuff because DC has, I don't, for the past 10 years, I don't want to overlook her. What's the word I'm looking for, y'all? Hold on. Contribution to the young man that y'all see. Because for the past 10 years, she has been his pops, his disciplinarian. I just wasn't going to do it. Because if you have a spouse and your spouse are raised differently, then you have different things that you punish for. She has different things that she punishes for that I don't because I wasn't punished for it. So to me, it wasn't something to punish for, but to her it was. And as long as it was teaching him a lesson and it wasn't hurting him, punish away. when there were things that he felt like he couldn't talk to me about. And if y'all know anything, y'all know Nick will tell me the stupidest shit, thinking I'm like for 2 seconds, he forget I ain't his own boy. But I digress. He'll talk to her about it. When the military thing came about, he knew DC knew about it before I did. And again, not mad with it because because he felt that he could come to us and talk about these things. Do you know how many children would just go sign up for the military because they're scared to come to their parents? Nick knows that any trouble he get in, there's never a time where he can't call me. There's never. Let me say it. Nick could be a whole serial killer, and he know he can still call here. Now, he also knows his mom will turn him in. But if he called me, that means he wants to be. Cause he know at the end of the day, I'm his mama. Bad or good. That's my job. My job is to make sure he does not have to go through any extra pain, suffering. I saw something the other day that pissed me off so bad. It pissed me off so bad, y'all. I promise y'all. Y'all know I don't watch YouTube like that. I don't watch YouTube like that. It just I just don't. I'm not a prank person. My wife is a prank person. My wife pulls pranks. I have been the butt of many a prank. Go back and look. Y'all will see she put down, what's that shit you put on your tooth to numb it? In my damn toothpaste. And I'm thinking my lip about to fall off. I'm having a stroke. And she done put Orajel in my toothpaste. Okay. So she the prank person. I'm not a prank person. So, and this was actually on TikTok where I saw it. So this family, I'm not going to say the name of the family, but anyway, the father pranked the little girl. She looked to be about 8 or 9 in that age range. She looked to be about still in grade school, saying that he had put Nair in her hair. Now, all I saw was the little girl hair, the hair coming out, and the daddy laughing. I didn't know it was real or not. I didn't know if what, all I knew it was a prank. And all I knew, because I told DC quick, fast, and hurry. I said, let me tell you something. Right before me and you was in here tussling, I'm calling a divorce attorney because I'm about to divorce you and beat your ass. She said, what is you talking about? I said, this man and putting there, pranking his little girl, and whatever stuff he done put on her hand, this little girl hair coming out. Now come to find out it's a prank. But the little girl didn't know it was a prank. The little girl is screaming and crying and hollering and telling her daddy how much I'll never trust you again. I don't want to talk to you. Don't touch me. Now I started feeling something was off when the mama didn't immediately wrench that nail out that baby head. She was just sitting up there pulling pieces of hair. So at that point, I got pissed off with the mama. I was pissed off with the whole thing. I was mad for a good 15, 20 minutes. And here's why I was mad. I wasn't mad because I was mad because do not your kids are supposed to trust you. They supposed to look at you and see nothing but unconditional love, a safe space to land on, a soft shoulder to cry on, a ear to listen, eyes to see the real person, not the person the world is trying to tell them they are, but see the real person. When your child looks at you, they're supposed to see love. They're supposed to see the physical personification of unconditional love. That is all your child is supposed to see when they look at their mom and daddy. Period. Point blank. End of discussion. I don't give a shit about how you were raised. I don't care about your upbringing. I don't care about how messed up your childhood was. If you cannot separate your childhood from your child's childhood, don't have any children. Number one. Because children are 100% preventable to come into the earth. So if you can't separate regular, leave the babies alone. That pissed me off so bad, but it made me feel so bad for the little girl because she didn't know. All she knew was her daddy made a trick. Her daddy messed up her hair. Her daddy lied to her. Her daddy recorded her screaming and crying and didn't do anything to fix it. That's all that little girl knew. I would chop off DC head. Do y'all hear me? I would go get a machete and chop her head off. If I came in the house and Nick is hollering, screaming, and crying, talking about why did you nail my hair off or whatever, pick whatever crazy prank that look like it's gonna hurt my baby. I would be in jail for a prank. Hold on, y'all. I can't see. God, hey PJ, God be with Nick, be Paris. Thank you. Yeah, I saw that. And from what I understand, it's an old video. It happened a couple of years ago, and it was a prank. Yay! The kids have been pranked before, but it's never been. Nick was never. He's the youngest kid at the time we were pulling pranks like that on a regular basis, and he was never pranked like that. I think she itching powdered us one time, but she itching powdered everybody. I was like, this is not a divorceable offense, Lord. She just playing. But I'm an adult and I can handle that. I understand that. Kids don't understand. Y'all get that right. I look now and I think about, I hope and I pray that I didn't do anything in Nick's childhood that would mess up his adulthood. That's why I tell him, I get every now and again I give him a free zone. Say whatever you want to say. Tell me whatever. Tell me. If you mad, be mad. If you need to cuss me out, cuss me out. Get it out. Let me know so I can work on it. So we can work on it together. So we don't have anything festering. So that I don't want to go so that he doesn't want to go non-contact with me, and I don't know why. You know how many parents haven't seen talk to their children in years once they become adults? Once they no longer have to talk to the people in their family? Do you know how many children want to, but because of how they were raised, they just can't bring themselves to, but they're miserable as adults? When Penelope comes in here in the morning, sometimes Penelope is a child. If she don't want to hug me, I don't make her. If she don't want to hold my head, kiss me, hell, if she don't want to talk to me, I don't make her. Because when she come to me when she want to, she's a baby. People think that children don't have their own autonomy. People think that children we are not their jailers. We are not our children and our grandchildren's jailers. We're not their job supervisors. We are their parents, their grandparents. We are their source of love, security, their sense of self. We are like old girl from the help. You is kind, you is beautiful, you I forget what she said, but she said that. I see so many children. I listen to the stories of children and how their parents didn't understand that it is your job to, it's not just your job to parent, it's your job to love. The TV is playing in the background. I'm not looking at it because it's the volume is down, but it's the commercials and stuff playing in the background. And the commercial for Gypsy Rose Lee, or I think that's her name. Anyway, the girl that killed her mother because for her entire childhood. Her mother had Munchausen by proxy syndrome, which is, for lack of a better term, parents want the attention from the children being sick. So you keep the children sick to get the attention. And nowadays, money, gifts, and things like that. And when it first happened and the mother was first killed, and even now, I don't think the little girl should have went to jail. I don't. I think she should have went to some kind of mental health facility. I think that she should have had intensive therapy. I think that she should have learned that there are people out there who love you and care about you and who will love you and care about you. But that little girl didn't even know how old she was. Her mother kept changing her age. She kept her going through surgery after surgery. She made it so she couldn't walk. She made it so she couldn't go to school. She made it so that she was developmentally slower by all the medicines and procedures. And she did it so that she could get money, so that she could get admiration for being the kind of mother who takes care of a sickly child. I'm like, come on. There's a little girl who is working through her therapy on TikTok, talking about all the abuse she went through as a child, and the abuse that her siblings and her cousins went through with the mothers and the men that the mothers allowed into these lives, and not just the mothers, but the brothers and the uncles and the cousins. And I look at Nick and I'm like, I can't fathom me hurting him so that y'all will send me $20, or so that somebody will give us a trip to Six Flags that he can't even enjoy because he in a wheelchair because I put him in a wheelchair. I look at Nick and all y'all don't understand. I look at Nick. Nick is damn near 20. He's an old rusty little boy, and he is still bright and shining to me like I had him yesterday. I don't see that changing. I am proud that he made the decision to go into the military himself. He sat up here and he told me his plan that he had for the military, for staying in the military, and what he hopes to accomplish and achieve. And this is what he wants. And I don't see him getting anything less than what he wants. I know he's going to get what he wants, but I'm almost positive he's going to get exponentially more than that. Because if he continues to grow on the route that this young man is growing on, I can see that there is no limit, there is no ceiling. And the only pride that I can take away from that is that's my baby. I am so happy he grew up to be the man that he is. Hold on, yeah. Oh, I thought somebody said something. I don't know what that was. Anyway, every parent thinks that their child is the best and most special child. So I am not discounting anybody's children in the chat or the replay. I'm only talking about my baby and how I feel about him. Now, would I jump in front of a car for your baby? Sure would. Would I decapitate somebody for your baby? Sure would. But today, I'm just focusing on mine. Because in a couple of days, he's going to get out of the car for the last time, for a long time. And I'm going to have to deal with that. And I'm not sad. I'm just dealing with change. I'm dealing with the fact that his adulthood came way too quickly. It got here faster than I thought it would. But now I have to deal with it. And that's what I'm gonna do. And so I can tell you the kind of kid he is. He will graduate from boot camp in Missouri. Now let me tell y'all something. I don't know what the hell Missouri is. One of the few things that I was absolutely not good at is geography. Wasn't I wasn't good at it? Let me not say that because it wasn't I wasn't good at it. It's I didn't care. I'm not gonna walk there. I don't need to know the directions like that. All I need to do is get in the car and drive. So, or get on the plane or get on the bus. I need for the person that's driving the plane, the bus, or the car to know where they go. I had no desire to go. I don't even know what they do in Missouri. I just know it's in America. Anyway, see, that's all I know. It's in America. But this is the kind of kid he is. So we were talking about his graduation. And he was like, you know, y'all ain't got to come to that, right? I was like, are they going to do it here? He was like, no, it's probably going to be in Missouri. I said, okay. Well, I guess we'll be in Missouri. Now I got to go to booking.com and see what the hell is in Missouri. Are there people in Missouri? I guess it got to be people in Missouri because it's a base there. So I guess so. I don't know. Anybody know what's in Missouri? Somebody help us sister out. Y'all help us sister out. I don't know what's there. I'm gonna have to Google it. But it's 14. I did Google map it. It's 14 hours from here to Missouri. And I'm not it'll be hard for me to get on a plane. Will I get on there? Will I figure it out? Yes. Uh would I drive there? Yes. I would have to drive this time. But as long as I'm not driving in Atlanta, I should be out. As long as I'm not on the freeway in Atlanta, I should be all right. That gave me a complex. But he was like, y'all ain't gotta come all the way to Missouri. That's the kind of kid. You think baby, y'all better know. I bet I see what's in Missouri now. But yeah, I just wanted to share that part with y'all. He's getting ready to go start the next chapter. I forget what he calls it. I think he said chapter. I think this is the next stage, the next adventure in his life. And I just can't wait to see what happens. Can't wait to see what happens. It's gonna be awesome. I just can't wait to hear him talk about the changes and stuff and things that go on. Yeah, it's gonna be what's up. I'll adapt. You know, it'll be all right. Anyway, eh, what else can we talk about? Well, how long I've been on here? Let's say almost an hour. Well, I'm well, Miss P. Well, not Miss PJ. Yeah, Miss Ginger said when Nick went to school with college, he went down the street. There wasn't even no fanfare. He went straight from high school to college. It wasn't for him. It wasn't for him. And I'm glad that he found out. I'm glad that he got it. So, because it's not for everybody. And then he was at one point working two jobs. When he was off one job, he worked the other one. He worked a lot. I did too. I ain't had no kids and he ain't no kids. It ain't because he working for himself. And so when he spent his money, when you broke, you broke. Shit. He knew he was gonna eat. And he bought his own clothes and stuff and things like that. It was crazy. You know what? Because now they started to put back the school stuff. And I'm like, I was saying to myself, oh, I ain't got to buy no back to school clothes. But realistically, I don't think we bought back to school clothes. His last, did we have to buy back to school clothes? I wonder if I gotta ask Sil when she get back. Did we Have to buy him school clothes. I, well, that asked my sister. I don't remember buying him. I don't think I bought him school clothes since junior year of school. Hmm. Because he was working. He started working when he was 16. So I don't think I bought him school clothes since then. He buy the stuff he want. I bought him, like when the pants was more than $100. I think I might have bought that, but that's about it. I don't know, y'all. That's crazy. I don't know. Anyway, all right, y'all. I'm gonna go on and get up off here. It's been almost an hour. I just wanted to put that out there in the world, and thank you guys. I appreciate it. I It's gonna be a lot of changes, and they're gonna be for the better. I'm gonna miss my baby, but I know he's doing what he wants to do, and I'm gonna have to be all right with that. He always knows that he has a home here, and he knows how proud I am of him, and he knows that I cannot wait to see the man he's growing into be, because I know it's going to be amazing. For anybody else going through this change in life, let me know how you're doing. Get together and cry together. Comment down below. Make sure y'all hit that like button. If you come across this video and it resonates with you, go on subscribe and join the bomb squad. Hit that notification bell so that every time we drop a video go live, you guys can join us. And hit that like button. I ain't saying nothing bad. Go hit that like button. It's your girl Lisa. I want to thank the bomb squad. I want to thank everybody who came through the chat and said hey and what's up. I want to thank everybody who in the bushes and ain't saying nothing. I appreciate y'all looking at the video. I appreciate y'all letting me get this off my chest. And we'll be back. This your girl Lisa, and I'm out. Peace.